I told Major Simmons that I'd been with them for 6 months. I had accomplished everything that he wanted done on Operation Taylor Common, which was about to end. And I said I needed to get back to the infantry, or not back to the infantry, to learn my infantry skills. They were largely dormant since my time at the basic school in Quantico, Virginia. And he agreed. And even though he wanted me to stay, he allowed me to transfer to the 5th Marines. The 5th Marines assigned me to a rifle company initially as a XO in the field under Captain Kingery. They considered him the best company commander in the regiment. And Captain Kingery, I sort of did over-the-shoulder training with him for 3 weeks. He convinced the regimental commander that I was ready to assume control of a company. He felt I had the necessary skills and experience. And so they assigned me to G Company, 2-5, 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines. And I reported aboard. They had been in the Arizona territory for over 50 continuous days. They were very tired and beat up. They'd also suffered a lot of casualties. I think when I took over that company, there were only 89 people effective in the field. We were going to get some replacements. Almost immediately, within the first week, we had a serious contact with elements of the 2nd NVA Division, and we suffered heavy casualties. We inflicted heavy casualties, and we broke up an attempt by the 2nd NV Division to attack Anwa Combat Base. Our company and another adjacent company made contact with the force that was moving against Anwa, and we beat them up significantly, and they gave up their attempt to attack Anwa. Spent time conducting patrolling near Liberty Bridge, which was northeast of Anwa, protecting the bridge. We conducted several successful ambushes there. We also conducted operations in the Quezon Mountains, which are known to the enemy as Base Area 116. It's an area that is periodically occupied by the 2nd NVA Division when they were moving either into the Quezon Valley or north towards Da Nang. Usually it's an area that's filled with a lot of old bivouac areas and some more recently used. We uncovered a lot of base areas there. We did not have any heavy contact, although we did execute a couple of ambushes that were successful. We then moved to a hill north of the Ujia River, east or west of Da Nang, Hill 65. We will provide security for rice harvesting by the South Vietnamese, and also providing overlook and protection for a refugee camp adjacent to Hill 65. While I was there, we were going to cross the river at night into the Arizona and try to conduct a sweep of the area on the north side of the Arizona territory. While we were there, that was when I got wounded, by the way. I was wounded from a B-40 round, but it was an insignificant, really wound. We were in our defensive position at night, and we were joined by a group of, this is prior to our insertion there. My memory has to serve me here. Before we conducted this cross river operation, during the night, a small group of about a dozen South Vietnamese in tiger stripe uniforms, very tough looking group, came into my company area. I was told by the S3 that they were going to go with me that night into the Arizona territory. With them were 2 Americans, both wearing camouflaged uniforms, tiger stripe uniforms, their faces heavily painted with face paint. At first, I didn't recognize one of them, but he seemed somewhat familiar. And when he came into my bunker, he said, "Hello, Andy, how are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm doing okay, but who are you?" And he said, "My name's Fred Vogel. Don't you recognize me?" I says, "Well, I recognize the voice, Fred, but I didn't recognize the way you looked." Uh, he had been assigned, he told me, to a special police unit that was responsible for going after the Viet Cong political leadership in Quang Nam province, and that these were his soldiers, which he referred to as his PRUs, Provincial Reconnaissance Unit soldiers. At first, I was a little hesitant to take them on board. I didn't know anything about them. He didn't explain really anything other than that their mission was to go after the political leadership of the enemy. Didn't know much about what they were doing or how they were doing it. They accompanied me on the operation, and they went into a village. They had the names of a couple of political cadres for the enemy that were supposedly living in that village. They interrogated them. A couple of them were viewed to be Viet Cong sympathizers, and they were sent back to An Hoa by helicopter along with the PRUs. And we continued on our mission. While I was talking to Fred, I said, "You know, what are you doing, Fred?" And he said, "Well, I really can't tell you exactly what I'm doing, and I can't tell you who I'm working for, but I think you would fit in well because your skills and background would benefit the things that we're doing." And I said, "Well, I don't know. You're asking me to extend my tour 6 months to do this, and I really don't know what I'm going to be doing." And he says, "Well, don't worry. Go ahead and extend your tours 6 months. I'll make sure you're assigned to the unit, and that you won't be disappointed. You'll find it very interesting." So, being young and foolish at the time, I said, "Okay, that sounds like that might be fun. So be good." So I went back to